Welcome to our channel. Today we're exploring some fascinating New Year's traditions from around the world. You know those things people do year after year, like when I try to convince Guillermo to eat a cronut made out of cheese? It never works, but it's tradition. From eating grapes for good luck to throwing dishes at your neighbor's house. Don't try that one at home, kids. We'll uncover the unique and sometimes wacky ways people celebrate the new year. We've got fire festivals, lucky underwear, and even some onion-related shenanigans. So grab your noisemakers, pop a bottle of something bubbly, sparkling apple juice for the kids, and get ready to learn about New Year's traditions from around the globe. Let's dive in. First up, we're heading to Spain, where things get a little grapey. You see, in Spain they believe that if you can manage to stuff 12 grapes in your mouth at the stroke of midnight, one for each month of the year, you're in for a year of good luck. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to fit a dozen grapes in your mouth at once. I mean, have you ever seen a grape? They're like tiny, slippery balls of deliciousness. But hey, if it means good fortune, you better believe I'm going to give it a shot. I just hope I don't choke and end up as a cautionary tale on next year's episode. Seriously though, this tradition is all about starting the year with abundance and sweetness. And let's be honest, who couldn't use a little extra sweetness in their lives? So if you're looking for a fun and festive way to ring in the new year, grab a bag of grapes and channel your inner Spaniard. Just maybe have a glass of water handy, for safety's sake. Next, we're jetting off to Japan, the land of the rising sun, sushi, and 108 bell rings. That's right, folks. In Japan, they ring in the new year with a whole lot of bell-ringing action. Now, I'm not talking about your average jingle bells here. We're talking about massive temple bells, each ring echoing through the night, symbolizing the cleansing of 108 worldly desires or sins. It's a beautiful and meditative tradition that's supposed to purify your soul and prepare you for a fresh start. Kind of like hitting the reset button on your life, except instead of a button, it's a giant booming bell. So if you're feeling the need for a little spiritual cleansing this New Year's Eve, maybe find yourself a bell to ring, or just watch this video a few dozen times. We'll count that too. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to get a little bit destructive. Our next stop is Denmark, where they celebrate the new year by throwing dishes at each other. Okay, not exactly at each other. They actually throw old plates and dishes at their friends' and neighbors' doorsteps. And before you ask, no, it's not considered rude. In fact, it's a sign of affection. The more broken dishes you find on your doorstep, the more loved and popular you are. So basically, it's like a popularity contest, but instead of votes, you get shards of broken china. Just imagine the look on your neighbor's face when you show up at their door with a box full of old plates and a mischievous grin. They might think you're robbing the place. It's definitely a unique and, let's be honest, kind of therapeutic way to ring in the new year. Just make sure you wear safety goggles, just in case. From the land of smashed dishes, we're heading to the vibrant shores of Brazil, where they welcome the new year with a much more peaceful tradition wearing white. That's right, in Brazil, it's all about starting the year off on a fresh and pure note by donning your finest white attire. It's like a giant, nationwide New Year's Eve party where everyone shows up looking like they just stepped out of a Tide commercial. But it's not just about looking good, folks. The color white symbolizes peace, harmony, and new beginnings. It's a way to leave behind the negativity of the past year and embrace the possibilities of the future. Plus, it makes finding your friends in a crowd super easy. Just look for the people who aren't covered in spilled drinks. So, if you're heading to Brazil this New Year's Eve, pack your white linen pants and get ready to party like it's 2024. Next stop on our whirlwind tour of New Year's traditions, the Philippines, where they believe that round shapes equal good fortune. And how do they celebrate this belief? By surrounding themselves with as many round fruits as possible, of course. We're talking mangoes, watermelons, oranges, you name it. If it's round and edible, it's fair game. I guess grapes would work here too. The idea is that these round fruits symbolize prosperity and good luck for the coming year. So the more round fruits you have, the more prosperous you'll be. Makes sense to me. It's like a giant, delicious scavenger hunt. But instead of searching for hidden treasure, you're on the quest for the roundest fruit you can find. Winner gets to eat their bounty. So if you're looking for a fun and fruity way to bring in the new year, grab your friends, head to the nearest fruit stand, and get your round on. Hold on to your kilts, because we're about to experience Hogmanay, the Scottish New Year's celebration that's like a party straight out of a Braveheart movie, but with less face paint. We're talking fire festivals, parades, street parties, and enough whiskey to sink a ship. It's a multi-day extravaganza that'll leave you wondering if you've traveled back in time. One of the coolest traditions is first footing, where the first person to cross your threshold after midnight determines your luck for the coming year. Ideally, this person should be tall, dark, and handsome, kind of like me, but with a better accent. They also carry symbolic gifts like coal for warmth, shortbread for prosperity, and of course a wee dram of whiskey to toast the new year. So if you're ever lucky enough to find yourself in Scotland for Hogmanay, get ready for an unforgettable experience filled with fire, fun, and enough whiskey to make you forget what year it is. From the fiery festivities of Scotland, we travel to sunny Greece, where they celebrate New Year's with a tradition that's a little less fiery, shall we say. Instead of fire, they use onions. Yes, onions. Now, before you wrinkle your nose, hear me out. In Greece, onions are seen as a symbol of rebirth and growth, thanks to their ability to sprout even in tough conditions. Kind of like that bag of potatoes you forgot about in the back of your pantry. So, on New Year's Eve, Greek families hang onions on their doors to invite good luck and prosperity into their homes for the coming year. It's like a natural air freshener, but with the added bonus of good fortune. I can just imagine the conversations this tradition sparks. Honey, did you remember to pick up the onions for the door? No, not for the dip, for good luck. It's a unique and surprisingly charming tradition that reminds us that even the simplest things can hold deep meaning, plus it keeps the vampires away. Next, we're off to Colombia, where they've got a tradition that's perfect for all you travel junkies out there. Get ready to pack your bags, folks, because in Colombia, they celebrate New Year's Eve by running around the block with empty suitcases. You heard that right. If you're hoping for a year filled with adventure and travel, all you have to do is grab your empty suitcase, run around the block at midnight, and voila, the travel gods will be smiling upon you. It's like a marathon, but instead of running shoes, you're sporting your finest luggage. Just imagine the looks you'll get from your neighbors. Of course, I recommend putting a little effort into it. Don't just grab your dusty old duffel bag, break out the good luggage, maybe even throw on a Hawaiian shirt and a pair of sunglasses, really sell it. So if you're ready to trade in your snow boots for flip-flops this year, grab your suitcase and start running. And now, we arrive in Italy, the land of pasta, pizza, and lucky red underwear. That's right, folks, in Italy, they believe that wearing red underwear on New Year's Eve brings good luck and passion in the coming year. And we're not just talking about any red underwear here, we're talking bright, bold, look-at-me red underwear. The kind of underwear that says, I'm ready for anything. It's a tradition that's said to date back to the Roman Empire, and let's be honest, if it was good enough for the Romans, it's good enough for me. So if you're looking to add a little spice to your New Year's Eve this year, ditch the boring white skivvies and slip into something a little more festive. You never know what kind of luck it might bring. Finally, we arrive in Ecuador, where they've got a New Year's tradition that's both cathartic and a little bit pyromaniacal. Get ready to light things up, folks, because in Ecuador they celebrate New Year's Eve by burning effigies. Now, before you call the fire department, these effigies aren't real people, don't worry. They're actually life-size dolls stuffed with straw, old clothes, and sometimes even fireworks, representing all the bad vibes and negativity from the past year. It's like a symbolic cleansing ritual, a way to let go of the old and embrace the new. Plus, it's a great excuse to play with fire. Just imagine the satisfaction of watching all your troubles go up in smoke as you toast to a fresh start. It's like therapy, but with more fire hazards. So, if you're looking for a truly explosive way to ring in the new year, grab your matches, find a safe place to build a bonfire, and get ready to burn, baby, burn. Thanks for watching. Which tradition did you find the most interesting? Would you try stuffing your face with grapes? Or are you more of a plate-smashing kind of person? Personally, I'm thinking about incorporating all of these traditions into my New Year's Eve this year. I'll be the guy running around the block with a suitcase full of round fruit, wearing red underwear and a string of onions. Don't forget to let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more amazing content. Happy New Year!